We appreciate you stepping forward to take this position. It's quite intensive. Okay, we're gonna go through the city employees. Water plant supervisor.
Today we had a couple of guys from McGuire Iron come out and do an inspection on our water tower, mainly the riser. Riser's the main line that takes water up to the bowl in the tower. And the lifespan of those are typically 40 to 50 years. It was put in 1975, so we're 50. And we took all the insulation off. He done an ultrasound on it, kind of tapped around, scraped on it, and we found some leaks, and long story short, it needs to be replaced. Welcome aboard. So they're putting us a bunch of packages together, plans, what we could do as far as payment, and Bob, he was there if you had anything else to add to it.
And we got a couple of pictures to show you. Nobody really realized this because it was hidden behind the insulation that wrapped the 10-inch pipe. The higher he went, it actually got better up by the round ball, but we have some pinholes and weeps running down the pipe. If we can get through that.
What kind of price are we looking at?
This is the actual pipe in question here, and the insulation is just left there for you to see how it really is surrounded. But in some of us' opinion, the insulation has caused the water to be trapped on the pipe and cause some of this corrosion.
Temperature change. Yeah, it's almost rested.
There's one of the, there's a picture of one of the pinholes that we actually saw water leaking out of. Like Mike said, it's supposed to have a 50-year lifespan, and guess what? The tower was built in 1875. We're looking at $85,000 to $105,000, I believe he told us, to replace about 100 feet of it. The other section at the top is like it was brand new. For some reason, it didn't rust, but.
But he did say once, if you decide to replace it, you have to do the whole thing.
Right,
You can't do
underground.
just the top part.
Right. And we have to do underground too, because that, he said that one lead elbow, and then wherever Zach can tie into,
Yeah.
that stretches underneath for that to be done.
That was about 12 to 15 feet that we would be responsible for.
Now luckily, this can be done at the same time that we were planning on taking the tower down for paint maintenance anyway. It was stressed that this is not something you wanna play with,
No, that's.
because if it bursts, we lose our entire water supply unless Mike can just run constantly, which he'll have to do while we've got it shut down anyway, but, here's another project.
Yeah, and that can be done since you guys installed the pumps and stuff and the generators and stuff. If anything happens, we can be under constant.
Yeah, we ran, before when they had it out of service, so yeah, we can do that.
I guess what I was getting at is if it was to fail during the night and we didn't know about it and we lose pressure, then we got a boil order. So it's a big deal in my mind. They're gonna put some numbers together for us. We'll present this to the council at the next meeting hopefully and go from there.
Don't we have to get somebody to take a look at the portion from the tower out?
Zach's gonna,
Or,
I told him to get with Mike. Did he get with you?
Yeah.
Okay. I texted Zach, to Ron to go ahead and get with Mike. He's done the other work out there already. He knows where the locator wires are and everything on it, so. That'll be another expense.
I have a question. When they did the initial repairs on the water tower, they allowed the city to pay it out.
Right?
Are they talking about possibly
Yes.
doing that with this?
Yes, he did. He offered a payment plan, but I don't wanna talk about numbers any more than what he gave us a total approximation, until we've got something on paper to really bite into. Either way, we gotta find some money.
That's all I have.
Thank you, Mike.
Yeah.
And before I forget, I would just like, if, Crystal, if you'll go to the park pictures. There was a Chamber of Commerce, the BOAG, FFA folks, and all the volunteers that showed up last Friday to work on the parks. I think they just really came out beautiful. Those roses are really starting to show. All the trees that we put in years past, those are all leaving out really nice. I think there might be one or two that didn't make it, but we went ahead and mulched around everything. Thanks to the Bashams for mowing Elmore Park this weekend. Thanks to Joe DeWall for mowing the Veterans Park. Volunteers just stepped forward with their own stuff, and we didn't even ask them to do it, but
Ernie got the ball.
yeah, Ernie's all over the place with his mowers, so he got the ballparks. I know he was out here dragging the ball downs. The volunteers in this town are really starting to impress me. I'm very proud of us for what we do.
I do have one thing to say. We do need people to volunteer to help us water. I mean, it looks great right now because we got a lot of rain, but, if we have more people, it's a lot less work than a couple, three of us sitting around.
Sign me up for a week.
Okay, you got it. But anyway, anybody that would like to help us, we would really appreciate it, wouldn't we, Barb? So,
And we might even go out with four-wheelers on the grass and water them.
won't matter
They
where
got
we
a-
get water.
They got a nice hose in a bucket.
Yeah.
It's not too
Anyway,
difficult.
we do appreciate the city giving us money for the flowers, and we did have a great day. The kids were outstanding and worked really hard.
And the volleyball pit looks really good with
Yes,
the new
it
sand
does.
all in there.
Our free sand delivered from SEK Ready Mix it.
It really looks good.
yeah.
Enclosures all put back together.
And Bob forgot to say that how much mulch he unloaded, because we had 140 bags of mulch on my truck. And he probably did 130 some of them, so.
Well, I felt it the next day.
But we really appreciate the city giving us the money to do that. And then I think there's a little bit of money left for paint. Awesome.
I got something to talk to you about afterwards. If you would, just hang on for just a minute. It doesn't warrant, on that agenda. Okay, utility bookkeeper, city treasurer.
I don't have anything.
Court clerk.
I don't have anything.
Okay. Are you ready, Amy? Can I show one picture? I was over at the museum not too long ago, and I saw this picture, and I thought it probably warranted to be shown since it's her first
What?
full meeting.
Oh.
It's under Amy.
Is that her, Amy? Okay.
Yeah. This young lady never dreamed that she was going to. I don't even know how old that is. She was young.
She's got the same smile.
Yeah,
Hey, Matt.
that's okay. Okay, Amy. You got it.
nothing.
That we need to talk about? Okay. Guess that means Shane's up.
The only thing I need is, you're already aware, I think you've seen it, I heard it. I prepared the release that you requested associated with mowing. I think I sent it yesterday.
We did get that. So thank you. You're welcome. And I would like to speak with you after the meeting too, Shane, before you leave. Police chief,
No.
city supervisor.
As you you want, is this on the agenda, the vehicles that you wanna talk
Yeah,
about for
let's
later?
talk about it.
Okay.
We have several vehicles in the city's possession that are insured and somewhat operational, but there's probably one, two, four, at least four that could be put on Purple Wave. We've either replaced them with a newer model like the digger truck for the poles. And I'd like for the council to look at that. I'm gonna pass this around, there's four there that I've been identified by the city supervisor that we could probably do without. Save us on the insurance, maybe make a little money, but we're not using them.
Isn't there a reason we keep the 99 Ford dump truck? And we use it for
99 Ford.
the dump truck? I thought there was an attachment or something on it.
It's the one on the front, the 75 one, I think, is it?
Yeah, the one on the front part of the page, the 1975 Ford.
70.
That's the only one the spreader fits on.
Oh, okay.
But
Okay.
since I've been here, we've used none of them, but Rogan got the 1975 truck running and moving.
That old red one.
Yeah, the old red one.
That's the one we always use when we pick up the brush and the stuff.
No, we've never used it.
Never used it.
Never used it. But the spreader that's out there that we've also never used.
For chip and
That-
seal?
I think so.
Okay.
That's the only
Gotcha.
truck that it actually
All right,
fits
now,
on.
I'm off the page.
Josh, are you familiar with any of these? Okay. Would you agree that?
I think they need to go away if you're not using them. Why pay insurance on stuff that sits?
The 99 Ford dump truck, the F700, the top one on the backside, that's the biggest dump truck we have. And the problem with it is that the brakes are locked up, and it's a really sophisticated system apparently, that nobody wants to work on.
And Fleet Solutions has already been talked to about it over here.
Yeah, I talked to him about it. He says it is very difficult to work on that type of brake system.
Is it turnover high?
He didn't say whether he would do it or not, but he did agree that the difficulty of repairing it.
Okay, so this 90, okay, so
99, the very top one.
99. Which one was the one that we bought of Zach? The well.
That's a Peterbilt or Kenworth, wasn't it? That's a
Yeah.
Kenworth.
That's Kenworth, okay.
That one's probably got Cummins in it.
Right.
The Kenworth is fine. It has some slight issues, but it's,
That digger
But
truck's a
it's-
liability. The,
Diggers, yeah, probably.
is the old yellow Ford on here too?
Yeah, the yellow is the one that's on the
92.
scissor. It doesn't have the scissor lift on it anymore.
But the scissor lift is back there.
It's back there.
Yeah, it needs to go with it if you're gonna get rid of it.
Sure. And then the old sewer truck.
Yeah, that's your jet rod truck that was out here.
Yeah.
It's got a 7.3 in it. And all these things start up, because if you put them on Purple Wave or any of that big iron, if they run, they bring more money.
We had to put batteries in it. The sewer truck, I've never seen it run, so I don't know.
IDI 73 would run at one time.
But,
I have,
I didn't get it
I'm gonna say I had it running, but it's set for,
Does Purple Wave send an inspector around?
they do a video, they used to do a video, basically if it starts,
Yeah.
you know, it's buyers beware. If
Yeah, right.
they'll do a video if it starts, and it ain't got dumping oil out of it, you're good to go.
yeah.
Somebody will purchase all of it.
Oh, yeah. I make a motion we put them on Purple Wave.
I second.
Got a motion by Chuck, second by Josh. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Wolf,
Yes.
Councilmember Dominguez, Councilmember Bennett,
Yes.
Councilmember Moore, Councilmember Seaman, Councilmember Nadine.
Motion passes. 4, all 4?
Yes.
That's what it was for. Okay. Thank you. Okay, we'll go with the council now. Ernie?
Well, you kinda said what I wanted to say. I wanted to tell everybody that had been volunteering and doing everything, that I think it looks a lot better, and thanks for the help. And, all these ideas that everybody has, that's what we wanna see. Bring them to us, come to us, and tell us your ideas, cause without that vision, without that foresight, thinking about stuff, we can just keep muddling along. But that's how we move forward, I think, so. And, I would like to make one other statement, and just a little one. I would like to say, if anybody ever has an issue with anything, come talk to me, or come talk to, any of us on the city council when you see us. It's easier to talk to us face to face than to read something on Facebook. So, I would appreciate that.
That's with the sewer update, we'll tell.
Okay, Brenda, what have you got? Appreciation goes out to Brenda. I don't know who all she enlisted, but she headed up the recording committee and getting this smart TV to be smart for us. So, thank you for doing that. Chuck, what do you have?
I don't have anything.
Josh? No, Chuck yet? Okay. We'll be looking forward to hearing from you next meeting. Linda?
I just wanna ask, like, about the trailer house that's down by the school again. I know they've been served, has anybody heard about that? Scott, do you know?
I'm sorry, I can't.
The trailer house that needs mowed, or the trailer house that needs torn down, but the lot that needs mowed last year. Right across from Cindy's. Yeah.
It was on the initial 26
Okay,
plan.
okay. Right. And I see her fence is fixed, I don't know who did it, but it looks better from the
It's
schoolyard.
partially fixed.
It
Yeah.
blows over
Well,
every time
yeah.
the wind blows.
Yeah. But, oh, that's all I have.
The cats aren't gone either.
Huh?
The cats aren't gone either.
No cats.
Oh, excuse me?
The cats aren't gone either.
Right.
Exactly, they're everywhere around the bank.
Yeah.
I counted 7 on Pecan Street as I was coming over here today in one group. I might add 2. The trailer over here that spurred our 20-year is still there, and it looks abandoned. So that's another one that, here the property they walked off and left it, in my opinion. Don't know what to do about it, really. What did you have, Justin?
Nothing.
Okay, we're gonna move on to old business.
Can I ask one thing before you move on?
Yes, ma'am?
Talking about the parks, Elmore Park has a lot of big potholes.
Yes.
And you know, when we got those $50,000 and $70,000 RVs coming through
Yes,
there,
ma'am.
you can't dodge them any longer?
Can I answer that before we go on?
Yes.
Crystal's ordered cold patch for
It's
us.
perma patch, I'm still waiting on them to approve our sales tax certificate. It was not approved yet today, so hopefully this week, and then we'll get it, and it ships within 5 business days.
And they deliver.
They deliver
It's a
the,
2,000-pound bag, I believe you said?
Yes, 2,000-pound bag, you just pour it in, I actually watched the video this evening, you pour it in, and you just drive over it, it packs it down, you don't have to use a tamping tools or anything.
oh, great.
I saw somebody use sand to fill the one out there that was a monster, but you know, for right now, it's working. But,
Actually, I think that was an accident. It was in the, it was in the front of Phil's tractor, and he went over.
Oh, come on. It's too neat for that. But anyway, I will tell you that filling potholes is one of my number one priorities, since we don't have money to overlay or mill streets. And
I just know Memorial Weekend's coming in, and so, you know, we want them to look nice, and we don't want them to
And
be.
we do, so far at Elmer Park, we have only 2 spots left for, campers, and then we have 2 spots for tents. Everything else is booked.
For Memorial Weekend.
Yes.
Yes.
and we've got an ad in the end of this month.
Yes, the following weekend.
Which will be the one. And I don't wanna let the cat out of the bag, but, because I'm asking questions, as many as my brain can ask, but when we had a meeting today with the sewer project update, and as you know, we're coming to the end of this project, and a lot of you have properties that have ruts and damage to your property where the trucks were in. If you're not happy with what they've done, make sure you call the city office and get back on the list. And what's specifically.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah, mine's not rut, mine's a little pond.
Right. Matter of fact, in the meeting today, I gave them your last name and address, and they should be coming to see you to make you happy.
Good, thank you, I appreciate that.
You're welcome. But in that same meeting, I'll tell you that, knowing that what we know on the payment and the amount of money that we had as a grant to spend, I just asked the question today. They don't laugh, but if I asked if within the scope of the project, would they be able to do anything to help us out with the damage to our streets that all their vehicles have caused? Not just theirs, but there's a lot of heavy vehicles. I think that one had a 500-gallon tank of water on the back there, and it was driving all over the place. But maybe we can get some funding out of them to help with our street areas too. They didn't know whether the Kansas Water Office would buy off of that or not. Hey, I asked.
Did they know when this is gonna happen, when they're gonna get that filled? Not just mine, everybody's, but.
They're working on it now. Some people have already seen the results, my understanding.
They'll be done with everybody by the end of the month. They think they'll only be 30 days out and be done.
And, I thought they were gonna zoom in tonight, but have you heard from them? Because I'll go ahead and read their stuff.
They're not going to if we didn't have any questions.
No matter, we'll talk about it a little bit. I've got the sheet. Okay, old business, here's about Hocket nuisance resolution, which is,
So they're actually here.
okay, there you are. Would you like, this is, go ahead. Jason.
Since the wife's accident, we've had trips once a week to Kansas City, once a week to Wichita for physical therapy and stuff like that. And we literally got out there today and pretty much got it somewhat cleaned up. Better, a lot better than what it was. So, and I've got pictures if you'd like to see.
Yeah, I went by there. It's quite a bit cleaner than it was.
Is the pile on the side of the road gone?
Yeah, no. It wasn't then when I went by, it was probably 2 hours ago.
Also, we called for a dumpster, they said that we were next on the list, so.
Is that a fact?
As soon as one's available, we go to whoever was first, yeah.
I mean, do we have a list that their name is on? That's what I'm asking.
No.
Okay. All right, as a council, Tony, is this the question that we go with the 10 days from now, or can we?
It's discretionary.
Discretionary? It's up to council discussion, as anybody else goes by.
Can we table it? and-
Let's table it.
Look at it?
Got a motion by Brendan, second by Chuck to table. Clerk, please call the roll.
Yes.
Councilmember Dominguez, Councilmember Benton, Councilmember Moore, Councilmember Seaman, Councilmember Nady.
Motion passes, table. No action at this time.
Thank you.
Thanks for showing up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, employee meal allowance ordinance, we talked about this at the last meeting, we do not have any guidance. So, ordinance number 996 establishes per diem meal allowance, follow the IRS directive each year. It can change. The employee meal allowance, I believe, we say $68 is what it currently is per day. Okay. And B, mileage reimbursement for the use of a personal vehicle is also the IRS standard mileage rate established each year. So, I just need a, council motion to approve ordinance number 996 to be added to it.
I'll make that motion.
Got a motion by Linda, a second by Ernie. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Moore. Councilmember Seaman.
Yes.
Councilmember Nady.
Yes.
Councilmember Wolf.
Yes.
Councilmember Dominguez. Councilmember Benton.
Motion passed.
You can just sign that.
Motion passed.
Okay, I can sign that.
Thank you. Junk vehicle list update.
I don't have a
PD?
I asked Travis about it, he said that he didn't have one.
Officer Eckler's contract restitution.
Do you have an update on Eichler's contract restitution?
That's the only thing
Have you gotten all the information from everybody that you were asking information on Carly's?
I believe I do. I
Okay.
believe I do.
When do you think we could expect something on paper to proceed?
In terms of the lawsuit,
Yes.
it's gonna be a little bit yet. I'll get one prepared to file. We need to find her address. I don't know where it is.
You have it.
You have it? Okay.
I'll inform the council approximately $21,444 is owed to the city for breach of contract.
Who approved her leave? Did we vote on that? I mean, that was a form, was that all voted on and that allowed her to leave, or did she just, who authorized her to leave?
She left.
She just left, walked out.
A letter of resignation.
Who approved that?
Didn't come across the council that I remember.
Can we force someone to stay to work?
No.
I mean, that's,
No,
yeah. And what do we have one for?
it's a breach of
It's a
contract.
breach of contract, so he's stuck in the
It's an
jail.
order
You
and
can't
it's
force them to work.
No, it's at will, but I just want you to know that that's what we're going after for restitution, in accordance with the contract that was signed. Okay, sewer, project update. like I mentioned earlier, we sat in on a meeting at 3 o'clock this afternoon with B&G and I'll brief off of theirs. They're asking for pay application number 7 in the amount of $388,932.04. This is payment number 7. The work that has been completed, all point repairs have been done, over 37,500 linear feet of lining has been installed, 175 service tap repairs. They're down to 2 additional manholes left to install. I think it's over on Cherry, is what he said. There's still some manhole improvements going on existing manholes, and evidently, whenever these things were installed decades ago, there's been some kind of corrosive interaction between the concrete or whatever they used and the metal. So they're wanting us to approve about $14,000 to treat six to 8 of these manholes with a coating that would prevent corrosion and degradation. I think we're gonna go ahead and do that within the scope of the project. The money's there. He said that, what was it, they ought to last 100 years,
Yeah.
or better than that. That's probably about the extent. There's a few action items that they have to do on a sustainability physical, but they're gonna get with you Amy, on that.
This is our last payment too, isn't it?
Well, no, there'll be a final, because we're not letting them out of here till we're happy with the job. One other thing that they did mention, and we probably will have to bring across the table. Evidently, either the water office or KDH&E, I can't remember, said that they have for a minimal fee of a few $100s, they want to come in and do a smoke test on the entire system. And if it's dry enough, any holes in the pipes will show. The smoke will come out of there. And they highly recommend that we do that because this project, as a lot of people know, has been, some of it was done, what, in 2017 or something? Yeah. Our side and then this project. And then I think there's probably some areas still that haven't been done that we're not aware of.
There's a lot of fresh water running into it.
Yeah.
Double checking your work. I mean, a couple $100 or whatever they said, not.
Yeah, and Chuck did mention this to us today. In the last rainstorm we had, it seemed like we still had.
Got a lot of infiltration. Yeah.
Yeah.
Miles and I went down there, yeah.
At the lift station.
Yeah, and in the normal rains, we used to go down there, and at the river, those flaps would open up, and half of the door would just be standing open, that water would just be pouring out of it. Yeah, they weren't doing that, I showed Miles where they were at, and that water barely trickling out of it. But the lift station's full, the alarm kept going off, and with 2 50-horse pumps running, with 8-inch pipe on there, there's no way they could keep up. It's fresh water running through the system.
Running through it.
Yep. They're gonna try to help us find it.
Right.
Because they said they could stop it up to 80%. Normally, any town we went to, they solved that problem by 80%. Well, we haven't knocked that down yet. We didn't get 20. Tammy's got her hand.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
My understanding from somebody that was on the council when the project was done in 2017, when they came through with the smoke detector test, some of the problems is cracked pipes and things in people's yards, and the council at that point wasn't willing to
Yeah, but they'll find it.
take a stand and say, you gotta fix it, cause we're getting.
You're exactly right, Tammy, and he did bring that up specifically. But they also said that what they have experienced this time is that almost everything they have encountered has been up to code, basically. That the piping is really good from people's sewer main to their houses that they have encountered this time. So if we do the smoke test, and that'll have to be approved, I think, by the council, that is exactly what will show up with the test, is if you've got a leak in your yard between the main and your house, the smoke is gonna be in your yard, and you will at least know it. Otherwise, it's leaching into your yard.
Well, I mean, the people gonna know and they can't blame it on the city, I mean, for having problems or something like that. I mean, just know that whenever it's done, this is where it's leaking.
But see, the bigger picture is, if enough of those are leaking rainwater
Yeah,
into the
it's gonna
sewers,
get it, yeah, absolutely.
this is the problem we've got out the lift station. Every time it rains, the manholes are overflowing.
But it's fast water. If that rain rains, as soon as it starts coming down, it starts filling that lift station. So they know it's not soaking in there and getting into the pipes. They know it's a major
Something big, of
influx
course,
of
that,
water
that much
somewhere.
force.
Yeah, I told them I'd crawl up in them deals. I'll get a flashlight, crawl up in them deals and find out where that sewer or that water's going up in them.
Some kind of basement drains that are hooked up.
Yeah, and gutters.
I was just saying gutters was another issue, some people have put their gutters to the sewer system.
And that was allowed.
Years ago.
I wonder if the gymnasium was set up that way, cause I don't know where that water runs off the gym, cause they made me put them into that pipe when I put that roof on. I had to go into them drain pipes with the downspouts, and I bet all that water is running into the sewer. That's a lot of water.
So do we wanna go ahead and pass the payment while we're talking about it?
Yes, I need a motion for all three. I have them ready. Can you just say it? Okay, I need a motion to pay the BG Consultants, it's billing number 33, it's in the amount of $42,086.13. And then I need your approval to do a CDBG draw request for $47,385. So the mayor will have to sign that. And Bennett's pay request, number 7, $388,932.04. So I'll need a motion to pay those.
Did we, when will we, are we getting a reimbursement back? It looks like we've already had some spending money out.
So
Because
June
it
1, I'll be able to get all these.
Cause it looks like we're spending more money than we have in ours.
We should be getting money back this week.
We're waiting
From our
to
last
close
request.
this.
Yeah,
I-
exactly.
I'm waiting
Okay,
to.
okay, I just wanna make sure we're not,
Right, yeah,
we
we're,
found the rest of that check.
we're watching, right.
You might be like, whoa, kick it.
Yeah.
Right, and if you'll recall, we were getting reimbursed quarterly, we couldn't front that kind of money at $500,000.
Make sure money's coming back.
Yes, so you guys will approve it and then it won't be on the next, until the next warrant, and then June 1, I'll get the money back.
I'll make a motion to approve the payments.
I'll second.
Okay, I got a motion by Justin, a second by Linda. Clerk, please call the roll for 3 payments. One to BG, one to CDBG draw, and the other to Bennett.
Josh, you have any questions on that one? Basically, we spend money, we've got the grant.
Yeah,
and then-
I went and talked that a couple weeks ago, I spent about an hour here.
Okay, Councilmember Wolf.
Yes.
Councilmember Dominguez. Councilmember Bentley. Councilmember Moore. Councilmember Seaman. Councilmember Nady.
Motion passes. Okay, next we have the monster tree at 3rd and Walnut. I had asked for a professional evaluation of whether the tree had any life left in it. Mr. Bill Moses, is he here?
Yes.
Okay. He looked at it and, the tree is officially declared deceased and needs to come down. It is hanging over 3rd Street tremendously. It lost a large limb during the last storm, and that's my inspiration. With that said, I think I need a motion to go out for bids.
Make that motion.
Motion by Ernie, second by Chuck. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Moore.
Yes.
Councilmember Seaman. Councilmember Nady. Councilmember Bentley. Councilmember Dominguez. Councilmember Wolf.
Yes.
Okay, moving on, we have the business occupation tax. Mr. Wilkerson here.
He is not, but it is paid in full.
What is the business like? I'm just curious.
Okay, I'm gonna read.
I'm just curious, cause I don't know.
No, everybody is curious. So I'm gonna read it for the record. Pursuant to the provisions of KSA 41-310K1, there is hereby levied an annual occupation or license tax of $150 on all retailers licensed to sell alcoholic liquor in the original and unopened package in the city of Chetopa, which shall be due and payable on or before January 31st of each year after the retailer's license is issued in the Director of Alcoholic Beverage Control of the Department of Revenue of the state of Kansas. Basically, since it's on the agenda, our treasurer saw this, discovered this, hadn't been paid in several years, and so you'll recall, about a year, maybe 2 years ago, we authorized Sunday sales of liquor in the city of Chetopa, which has really no bearing on this, but trying to lay a little bit of groundwork. Crystal found this omission and pursued it, and she got the city $900 in an occupational tax.
So it's just for liquor stores then?
I know.
Right, I know that, okay.
I don't know much more to say
Well,
about it.
okay, I'm just curious why we're shit, I mean, it's occupation, business, I mean, just.
Why one business?
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. Not that I wanna pay any more than anyone else, but I'm saying if it's a business deal, we're all, I don't know why we're just picking on liquor stores, what I'm getting at.
It's not.
Well, I'm wondering if that KSA is even still current, because I can't even find when that ordinance was originally adopted. When I looked back in the policy book that I had, there's no date on it. On your new ordinance book, there's no date on it, so I have no idea when it was even adopted. So the KSA may not even be current and correct.
So it's on our ordinance books.
Ordinance number 740.
Trails liquor, it's been paid for years.
Yeah.
Has anybody looked at that KSA?
And Amy and I both called the two different state ladies at the,
Alcohol beverage control.
right, and they said if it's in our ordinance to pay it, then it is, their
It's
business
in our
does.
ordinance book, so
okay.
there's a fee for doing business in city limits.
So is it just the liquor store that's Carbondale's?
So Carmendo's does a cereal malt beverage, so they have to pay $75. But the convenience stores have to pay the stamp fee.
Keyword being liquor, not beer.
So it's,
Correct.
okay, alcoholic deal.
Right.
Okay. Mr. Troy Bartlett, is he here? Utility body.
Right, so code enforcement has served him a letter, so we're just needing an update on that.
We got on the agenda, so that kind of stopped what we were doing until we see what you guys are gonna do. So if you wanna proceed with, basically, you have to go through the, Shane, correct me if I'm wrong, to remove him from the property, you're gonna have to go to the county attorney, okay?
I believe so.
You have to petition the county attorney.
And this is because he's not hooked up to city utilities.
We have others that we serve as well.
Okay. Clark, do you have a list of all these non-hooked up folks?
There's
Yeah,
at
the city
least-
treasurer has the
There's at least 3 I know of in
Yes.
town.
Are these the same three we were talking about a meeting before? Okay. Well, I say we press forward, council.
Now, is this just on him or all three?
So he is the only one that replied and said he wanted to come talk to you guys. So he's been on the agenda the last 2 meetings.
Okay, well, that's why I'm just asking, I mean, it's about not being hooked up to city utilities.
And there's always, so.
So, what I'm saying is, if we're doing one, I
The
mean.
time is up on all three.
Then
They can all three.
It's fine to go after all.
That's what I'm getting, it's not just him, because you're gonna do what's good for one, is good for,
Yeah.
I guess he's the only one that wanted to come talk to the council.
which he did show up, so.
So we'll proceed on all three.
We'll make a motion to proceed on all three.
Motion by Justin, second by Ernie, clerk please call the roll.
Councilmember Welch,
Yes.
Councilmember Dominguez, Councilmember Benton, Councilmember Naden,
Yep.
Councilmember Seaman, Councilmember Moore.
Yes.
Okay, community volunteer waiver. As Shane alluded to earlier, we did get a response from his office. We do have a form, but I can't share that because I haven't got a response from the city insurance agent yet from her corporate headquarters allowing us to use the city equipment. Until that's done, I'm gonna table this. But we are getting up somewhere and we're looking into it. In the meantime, volunteers, please keep coming forward with your own equipment. I need a motion to table it though, that's my preference.
Motion to table, community volunteer waiver.
Motion by Ernie,
Second.
second by Chuck. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Wolf,
Yes.
Councilmember Dominguez, Councilmember Bentley,
Yes.
Councilmember Moore,
Yes.
Councilmember Seaman, Councilmember Naden.
Okay. Before we go on to new business, I wanna address a couple of issues that I skipped myself, but I had the clerk put in your packets a Kansas statute, in reference to the registration of vehicles. I went and talked to the county sheriff about this issue of out-of-state tags. And understanding that a domicile is defined as basically where you lay your head at night to sleep. And if you'll note there in paragraph 1, it states that a person is a resident of a county in this state if any of the following exists. And it lists 5 different things. The one that I highlighted says owns, leases, or rents a place of domicile within such county and remains in such county for a period exceeding 90 days, except for infrequent or brief absences. I also was shown a cheat sheet that the county sheriffs carry around in their vehicles. And it has a misdemeanor code for failure to get a Kansas tag. That tells me if you're living in Chetopa and you have out-of-state tags, you have 90 days. And I think your driver's license is 90 or less too, to change that over. Really no difference. Those tickets can be written by our police department and run through our municipal court as a misdemeanor is what I'm being told. I, for one, am tired of hearing that we can't do anything about it. I'm being told that we can, we just don't want to.
Is that in our, I've never found that in our,
I don't know if it's in
and
our.
I spoke with the
code.
engineer, and he misspoke, he thought it was in our standard traffic ordinance,
Yeah,
but it is not.
that's what we adopt, and I don't believe it's in there.
No.
So if you say that, Scott, you don't have the authority to write tickets, right?
It has to go through district court, cause it's not,
County has
we
to-
adopt every year the standard traffic ordinance and the uniform public code of offenses. If it's not in those 2 books, it has to go to district court.
So that's a sheriff's issue.
The sheriff, they have to be issued on county citations.
Isn't it true that we can amend the standard traffic ordinance to suit our needs as a city?
I presume that we can, I'd have to research, but I presume we can.
Okay, would you please look into that? Thank you.
And what about out of county tags? Are we gonna do those as well?
Repeat?
Out of county tags?
That would be the same situation, wouldn't it? I mean,
Well, if you're after the
if
tag,
if
if
you're
you're after the tag,
paying cheaper tag in Cherokee County, then you're, yeah, I mean.
He's referring to my tags.
Well, there's several in town, I noticed.
But I have one
Well, we're not
tag,
gonna
I have one
discuss
tag
this
in
one
Gilbert,
person or
I have
the
one
other.
tag in Gilbert, I have one tag in Oklahoma down at the lake, on my property, it's a lake, and I have two of them tagged over in Cherokee County, but my daughter's name is on the tag, and my apartment's still over in Galena, and I still have a residence over there. So I have two vehicles tagged over there, one in Oklahoma tagged and one tagged here in Kansas, in Labette County. And the judge, when I presented him one time on tags like that, the judge says, my vehicle has no residence. It's not a person. It has no residence.
Well, then none of the Oklahoma tags. I mean, how do we justify that one way or the other?
Let me read it again. If you're laying your head to sleep in Chetopa, the city limits, you should have a Labette County and a Kansas tag. Just like on an ATV or golf cart. There's a city tag for these as well. I don't know how else we can get the word out. We put it on every media form that we have, and I see at least 2 to 3 a day running around with nothing displayed on them. I would think that everybody else's eyes is as good as mine at my age. They can see whether they're not tagged properly, whatever it is. I don't care who you are. We need to all follow the same rules. This is revenue for our city, which we don't have a lot of.
I want to check with the county treasurer. I've never known anybody that had to redo a county tag just because they moved from one county to the next. I think when you renew your tags the next year, then it catches you.
I have a house in Montgomery County too, and when we lived over there, when we moved from Labette to Montgomery County, when my tags were due, I just went to Montgomery County courthouse.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think you can make them
I
go.
didn't have to do it in 30 days, 60 days, something like that.
Yeah.
The tag was good.
Cause it's the state of Kansas.
Yeah, and no different than if you have a vehicle and it's got a current tag, but you don't own it because you're waiting on it. Because we bought what is our digger truck that we bought in where? Iowa, and we brought it back, but do we have a Kansas tag on it? No. We do? Okay, so how long did that take?
Well, I think I got a kit tag for it the next day.
Right.
But to me, this stuff is just as relevant as the dog and cat licenses that we ask people for $1. But the main point is we're asking you to get your animals spayed, neutered, shots. So if they go on somebody else's property and bite them, they don't get rabies. And I can probably count on my fingers and toes how many people actually abide by that. But yet, I can drive down Pecan. And they're everywhere.
And we have talked to Tyler, our Chetopa vet, and he is willing to have a vet clinic, if the city can absorb some of the cost. Remember?
That is a fact. We talked to him personally about that, having a bet day on a Saturday for a few hours. If the city would pick up $10 per animal, he would give them all shots.
You're gonna be tagged.
And therefore you can come here and get a tag.
It's 25 if they're not spayed or neutered,
And 50,
and it's $1 if they are.
right, there's a charge. But the point is, do you want somebody else's animals that some claim and some don't, doing their business in your yard?
Happens every day at my house.
And it does at mine too, and I'm sick of
It irritates me, yeah.
But you know, I understand there was a gentleman put a video out on one of our Facebook pages, said, come get your dog or he's gonna take matters into his own hands.
Oh, I just shot a dog that was in my yard, so I didn't worry about it.
I get that, but if somebody calls the police. And I know Justin's dog got shot.
Yeah.
But, you know, y'all tell me what.
No, it's not a felony charge. You shoot somebody's dog in your yard.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
A trigger mechanism. That's that gentleman right there.
I asked him, he said he was.
Well, discharge of a firearm inside the city limits is illegal, but is it a felony?
I don't think that's a felony.
But you also have the right to protect your property and yourself, so if a vicious animal comes onto your property and is going after your chickens or your kid, you have the right to defend.
And I believe that's what the individual said, that the dogs were trying to attack him or bite him. But there's easier ways to deal with it.
My mom's called 6 times on Great Danes coming over her fence, so don't tell me there's an easier way to deal with it.
Well, I mean, other than killing somebody's dog.
Well, she told Travis if she's in the backyard and that dog comes over, you won't have trouble finding it. And he came to the front door and told her she couldn't do that. But when she said, I'm 82 and have a broken hip, and if that dog knocks me down, we're talking small ponies.
Right. And I guess where I'm going is responsible pet ownership.
So if we wouldn't have this clinic and they have to be tagged, the wanted question, if you have an animal in town and it's not tagged, what happens to it?
If it gets picked up.
Like these Great Danes that's out.
They're supposed to be ticketed.
And they were.
Okay. I'm not saying they weren't, I don't know, but.
And they were also, they got all their tags in the trails.
I believe I read somewhere that after so many days, I think it was 3 or 5, they get euthanized if they haven't been picked up. That's what I remember.
3 days.
3 days. But the city picks up the euthanization cost, which is $100.
50, I think, last time.
But don't you think that's a beginning step of where we need to get back to? Because we used to have these clinics down at the water plant.
I do.
I mean,
And you know what, I think I'll go ahead and call for a motion to go ahead and get with our veterinarian and set something up if you guys are.
I'll donate $100 for him to do shots, if it's gonna be $10 a piece, is that what he asked for from the
I believe
city?
he did.
So these pet owners have to bring their,
Need a motion, Bob?
they're gonna bring
Make a
them
motion.
to the clinic?
Just
Just curious.
Motion on pet clinic.
I like it.
Got a motion on the floor by Ernie, I need a second, second by Chuck. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Wilson. Councilmember Dominguez. Councilmember Bentley. Councilmember Moore.
Yes.
Councilmember Seaman. Councilmember Newman.
Motion passes. You want to set that up? Okay, here's an enjoyable one. city clerk oath of office. We are now going to swear Amy in as the new city clerk effective 1 May on this 6th day. Please raise your right hand. I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Kansas and faithfully discharge the duties of city clerk, so help me God. Congratulations.
Next is the addition, the second job approval. Employee's second job approval.
Okay, our newest public works employee is requesting permission to accept the position of head football coach at Chetopa High School. Wow. This is a seasonal paid position that will not conflict with my current responsibilities in the public works department. I view this opportunity as a meaningful way to contribute to the development and growth of the youth in our community, and I am dedicated to supporting our students both on and off the field. And I believe this role will allow me to make a positive impact. Thank you for your time and consideration. Reverend W. Bruce.
Make a motion to approve that.
Second. I got a motion by Brenda, a second by Raymond. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Moore.
Yes.
Councilmember Seaman. Councilmember Nading. Councilmember Bentley.
Yes.
Councilmember Dominguez. Councilmember Wolf.
Yes.
Motion passed. Okay, we are down to employee resignations. I've got 3 resignations from the same department to read to you. Governing body of Chetopa, it is with my deepest regret that I tender my resignation as chief of police. I have proudly served the city of Chetopa for 18 years and 7 months. It has been my hope and desire to finish my career with Chetopa. However, circumstances being what they are, I do not feel that is possible. I will forever be grateful to the many people that I've served over the years, as well as the co-workers that have become more like family. My last day to serve will be May 23rd, 2025, and it is my intention to assist my successor in all operations of the department to ensure a seamless transition. Respectfully, Scott T. Fagan. Need a motion to accept resignation. Scott Fagan.
I'll make the motion. Accept Scott's resignation.
I got a motion by Justin, second by Linda. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Wolf.
Yes.
Councilmember Dominguez.
Yes.
Councilmember Bentley.
Yes.
Councilmember Moore.
Yeah.
Councilmember Seaman. Councilmember Nading.
Second, we have, it is with regret that I will tender my resignation as police officer for the city of Chetopa after 14 years of service. I'm giving my registration for my last day to work for the city to be on May 15th, 2025. It has been my honor to serve the city and my childhood home. However, in light of recent events that have taken place in the city, I cannot in good conscience continue to work here. Respectfully, Travis Hurston. Need a motion to accept Travis's resignation, please.
Make a motion.
Second.
Motion by Linda, second by Justin. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Moore.
Yeah.
Councilmember Seaman. Councilmember Nading. Councilmember Wolf. Councilmember Dominguez.
Yes.
Councilmember Bentley.
Yes.
Motion passes. And lastly, on Wednesday, April 30th, 2025, I, Officer Alexis Schofield, will be putting in my resignation from the city of Chetopa. The resignation date is Friday, May 16th, 2025. I appreciate the opportunity I was given to serve the city of Chetopa, and during my time here, I learned a lot about becoming an officer. I felt honored to have earned the respect of those who respected me and my job duties during my time with the city. At this time, I have another opportunity that has been presented to me for better pay, training opportunities, a stable working environment, and more time with my children. I never imagined leaving my first agency in 8 months due to a hostile work environment. I took pride in the city and citizens that remain living here. I will ask that I be released from my contract with no repercussions for it. If there are any questions, I would like to answer them, but if there is not, I ask that my resignation is accepted for the date mentioned above. I'm gonna add a note here. This individual signed a 2-year contract with the city. And, I'll leave it to the council. With that said.
Make a motion to approve the resignation.
Motion by Justin, a second by Linda. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Wolf,
Yes.
Councilmember Dominguez, Councilmember Bentley,
No.
Councilmember Moore,
Yep.
Councilmember Seaman, Councilmember Navy.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-1.
I have a question. How are you going after the other female officer for breach of contract and you're gonna let her out of hers?
We have something else here first. You want to say
I'm
this
sorry,
one?
I just asked a question. I'm not aware what's on the table.
Well, we'll explain it here in just a second. You want to explain it?
Do we need to go in executive?
No, I think this one's gonna be right at the table.
Go ahead.
Right here, control conditions for the city of Chetopa. This is from the sheriff, Eisinger. Here. It is that the city releases Alexis Schofield of any and all contracts with the city of Chetopa. The city elects Scott Fagan, Officer Ray Straw, Officer Schofield to keep the current body armor. Body armor is tailored to fit each officer, is only good for that officer. The sheriff's office will conduct day and night patrols for the city of Chetopa for 2 months, free of charge, if the above conditions are met. After 2 months, if the city has not filled the positions within the police department, the Lebec County Sheriff's Office will continue to conduct patrols of the city for a fee to be determined by the sheriff of Lebec County for a time period not to exceed 6 months. City of Chetopa's police officers will cover 5 midnight shifts, 5 day shift, 5 day weeks, with the sheriff's officers covering and maintaining 2 nights. The Lebec County Sheriff's Office does not handle animal calls. Situation is, she is going to the sheriff's department because of the work conditions here in town. We've got 2 options here. We can leave, let her leave in good standings with the sheriff's department because we're literally screwed right now. We're down to 1 officer. We can,
What are they gonna charge us?
Yeah, but it's open-ended because they can charge you whatever they want.
Well, that's why, I mean, we gotta have 24/7 patrol.
Yeah.
I just wanna know what it,
from what I've heard, Scott, correct me if I'm wrong, it's $5,000 to $6,000 a month.
It's only $60,000 a year.
that's per shift, I think.
That's
Per
probably
shift?
Yeah.
Well, then we'd be better
Well,
off to hire
it's,
people.
it's 2 months, we've got 2
That's what I'm
free
getting at. If we're gonna.
Yeah, if we're gonna do that, then, you know,
We
we,
need to get someone hired.
yeah.
Charge $6,000 a shift.
But we better have a good working relationship with our sheriff's department right now if we're gonna have any patrol right here.
Yeah.
So I agree.
So you're saying that they would choose not to cover the county? If there's a problem down here? Cause I mean, I think
No, they're
county
putting
commissioners,
their,
that's what you said, we
they're
don't have a
putting their
good
patrol
relationship
here.
with the sheriff's department.
they're
I'm like,
putting their patrol here.
They have to anyways, it's Lebec County. If we had no officers at all, they still have to patrol this town. If they had no officers at all, they have to patrol this town.
They do not have to put an officer in this town.
They have to patrol this town, so that means the officer has to be in this town. He ain't gonna drive around the city limits and goes, I'm gonna go in there whenever they call me. He has to go into this town.
By being a city of the second class, you have to provide law enforcement. You can either do that by having a police department or contracting with an outside agency.
If we don't
What is
provide,
Edna?
the state can come
What
in
is Edna? Is that a
and
third class city? Third
And
class?
they still have to as well.
Who's gonna work well, too?
If you're incorporated, you have to provide law enforcement.
24/7 or just one shift?
You can,
That's what, that's.
cities in the third class, like Mountain Valley and Edna, they have, Edna gets 30 hours a month of an actual officer in town, Mountain Valley gets 50 hours a month.
Okay. A month. That's it.
And they pay,
So we wouldn't have people here maybe of a night or,
well, it depends what you want to pay.
well, that's what I'm getting at. That's,
2 hours a day.
I think,
Yeah,
I think
it's 2 or 3.
I think it's the price to have 24/7 coverage, it's gonna be between $400,000 and $500,000 a year. Cause he has to hire 4 deputies, outfit 4 trucks, 4 equipment, benefits.
I had an individual tell me that back in the fifties and sixties, the police officers provided their own vehicle, and there were only 2 of them.
Town was a lot
It was a lot bigger then too, wasn't it?
Bigger town then than it is in 20.
There wasn't near as many idiots as there is now.
Well, I remember when
They got handled vigilante.
So Justin, when you said, can you make that a little bit more clear, when you said for 2 months, is that 24-hour service? I'm trying to come up with the fee, because Carly's was 21,000, so I'm trying to justify where we're at with their fees for 2 months. Are you saying it's basically gonna
It
cost?
says that they will conduct day and night patrols for the city.
so I assume 24 hours for 2 months.
He read some other days and stuff on there.
If that's truly the case, we couldn't afford to have them do it anyways.
I don't know if that is 24/7 coverage.
Right, it's an open contract. He can do whatever he wants. This has nothing. This has nothing on it. No specifics.
The other thing that I've heard is not even said.
What's the attorney say?
Was, I've been told that he said he would buy Alexis's contract.
Right.
Extended it.
Right.
I think he means they're going to pass through and cover.
That's right.
They won't be here all the time. That's what I'm saying, but I don't know.
Right,
What's
because
your
it's not specific. Neither is the amount.
What he told me is that he would provide coverage, answer calls for service here, and conduct patrols intermittently throughout the day. The Chetopa officer would be out,
No,
the Chetopa officer would be out midnights the whole time. And the reason he requested that is because he has more coverage in days to come down here and patrol and answer calls for service. And I also told him, and he agreed, that while I'm off duty, and there is a critical call come in, a domestic, whatever, that they will call me and I will go out and handle it, and he'll pay me for that, and if the on-duty deputies are not close.
So again, I asked, how are we gonna go after Eichler, when I know, because I physically have talked to her, that she left due to a family emergency and family issues. And what she's told me is that Scott told her that she could leave and that there wouldn't be any problems. I wasn't any part of that conversation, I'm just repeating what was said to me. She said she has emails and stuff to,
That's the problem, it's not.
I'm just
telling you, she's.
I would ask that if anybody has anything to say, or wait to be recognized and come to the podium. This is a very serious subject, and not everybody is hearing everything that is being said. Tammy, would you like to take the podium and repeat what you just said?
I think they all heard me.
But
I've got comments.
there was another
I can't hear
conversation
that
going
one,
on right now.
Tammy from back here.
The issue that she has said is, how are we going to go after Officer Eckler's restitution if we let officers go?
So the way that reads to me is they're kind of buying her out of her contract. That's the way I'm reading it.
We're gonna pay for one way or the other.
I mean, that's the way I'm reading it, and I'm not, he probably ought to read it, make sure. The way I'm reading it, he's gonna, what is it, 21,000? Is that what the other contract, is that what we're after?
And all the body armor and everything we.
Okay, so
we supply.
way I'm reading it is they're gonna give us that patrol for that amount of money, is what I'm reading it.
But he also said it's just not 24-hour patrol, it's just coming in and doing spotty in and out. And
So we don't have a set, there's not a set, we haven't, but we haven't signed our
No
agreement.
agreement on how many hours are gonna be here patrolling.
I would
when they're
say
gonna be
someone needs to
Nothing's
get,
in this,
I'd say we need to get a schedule before something's signed.
and the amount they're gonna charge us and
Yep.
everything else.
Yeah.
Yep,
Well, this is
Do
nothing.
we, I mean,
This is nothing.
This is nothing.
This is nothing.
Let me explain something. I was up in Oswego Monday. When was that solid waste meeting? I was in Oswego at another meeting. Sheriff Eisinger happened to be in that same meeting. We talked. We went into a room and this was presented to me. It was already typed up, expecting to talk to me at some point, I suppose.
So who negotiated all this?
I have no idea where this came from, other than he handed it to me and said, this is the deal on the table, basically.
So aren't there laws to that? Aren't there guidance we gotta follow that, or is it just?
Well, I'll tell you, I feel like we're being held over the barrel
Yeah, that's exactly what's happening.
and being held hostage because our officers are resigning and at least 2 of them, and maybe 3, are being signed on by the people that are holding us hostage.
Wait a minute, I think all 3 of them right here are going to the same spot.
Yeah.
I agree. Therefore, I am not a proponent of signing any, I won't sign this, matter of fact, I'll tell you that right now. The council can pass it, but I will not sign it. We can go out and put applications out for officers. And as far as I'm concerned, we meet the requirements for trying to fill our police department.
That's what I think.
There are also some other avenues that I would discuss in executive.
If an officer leaves within the first year and goes to another department, statutorily, that department has to pay the costs associated.
That's what's not written down in here, that I
Yeah.
was wondering what I heard, because I heard that he had said that he was going to buy her contract out for her employment, which is not unheard of for.
No, but it's not, the deal is we ain't got numbers, hours, or, I mean, that.
No, this doesn't tell me anything.
That's right.
That other part that was told me was left out.
Vague as can be.
What it tells you is, you get 2-3 months of semi-patrol
Right, semi-patrol.
for $20,000 plus.
Plus the body armor and whatever else goes with
I'm
it.
just, I'm not gonna sign it, and, I won't commit the city to that.
I'm gonna say we better have a working relationship with our sheriffs, or we're not gonna have shit.
We already have that. They're down here all the time. They cannot deny coming into this town and patrolling.
I think whoever dispatch calls is the ones that answers the phone.
According to Sheriff Eisinger, and Shane, you probably know this, he says statutorily, the only calls he has to respond to into a municipality is felony level offenses.
Right.
So he does not have to respond to domestics, he does not have to respond to,
What about a domestic that turns into a felony?
Well, I think the mayor maybe needs to go talk to the 3 county commissioners and see if there can't be something worked out
This
also,
mayor's
because,
already talked to the commissioners, but.
About this?
Private conversations, but, that's.
I have a
Spawn.
well, but private
I have
conversations
a
will get you
little
guys in
overview.
trouble with the Kansas Open Meetings
No,
Act.
I didn't talk to all 3 of them at the same time, what I'm saying is that's what spawned this letter.
I don't understand it. We have 911
He can talk to
on our last,
Yeah, you can.
on our last, census. And so a second-class town refers to a municipality or a population between 1,000 and 6,000, so I don't think we quite make it. And I bet if they counted us again, we're a heck of a lot less.
Yeah.
But you can't regress into a third party, or third city or a third class. I already looked into that. You can go up, but not that,
Right?
because you lose a lot of your,
Oh, wow, oh, yeah? Okay. Well,
You wanna stay second class.
go ahead.
I am a concerned business owner.
Yes, ma'am.
I have two businesses that our police department has done a wonderful job of protecting us over the years. I mean, yes, I have an alarm system and it goes off, but they're Johnny on the spot checking for me and all. So you guys all know that I work late hours at the bank, and also this is a very high concern of mine. I just want you guys to know that on both of my businesses.
Noted. Like I said, we're gonna go out, if the council approves, we'll go ahead and list the positions that have been vacated tonight to be filled. They will go through the job interview process that we normally do for new employees. There are a couple of other avenues that I'm investigating that I'm not ready to share yet. Other than that,
Same here, I've got a few of them that I've talked to, and when they said they may do what's necessary. A short period of time, 3 to 6 months, but they're willing to step forward. While we get the police officers put in place to replace them.
go ahead, Bill.
Are you gonna have, since Scott is stepping down and Travis is stepping down, are you gonna have anybody put in there as an interim police chief, so Scott can kind of go over things with him? I mean, you got one guy left, we gotta have a boss.
I think Jason needs a beer. Chief of police.
I don't know whether you guys have thought about that.
Yep. We don't
I agree.
Someone's gonna be
yes,
the guy to contact.
yes.
Is Jason not gonna submit a resignation?
I haven't submitted a resignation.
Okay, I'm just asking. 3 out of 4, I'm not a gambler, but that'd be up to the council.
I'll make a motion that
I don't appoint, anything below police chief, right? Correct?
You appoint all
Appointed.
city employees. That's how they've done it. Of course, that doesn't mean it's right, but.
Fireman chief.
Cities of second class require all officers elected or appointed to be qualified electors of the city, except for the city attorney, municipal judge, and law enforcement officers, who must either be residents of the state, or in case of the city attorney, a qualified elector. That's not what we're looking for. You know offhand, Shane?
I don't know what that.
I believe that we only appointed the chief of police this last, when Ryan did it.
Did you
not gonna be the chief of police?
Well, that's, yeah, I mean, we gotta have it.
You'll be the one that.
Are you gonna do that as interim?
You do.
That's what I mean, if he's the only one left, he's it.
Can I say something? Jason is more than qualified and competent to assume the role. I have
Are
full
you
faith
good
in
with
him.
that, Jason?
Yeah, I will.
Jason
Yeah,
said
so
yes.
he's probably not asking for you.
That's what I just asked him, yeah. Yeah, that's what I just asked him, he said yes. I don't know why I did, but I just did.
I'm not ready to appoint, if the council wants to name Jason as the interim police chief, you may make that one.
I make a motion, make him interim chief.
Second.
I got a motion by Josh, a second by Justin. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Wolf.
Yes.
Councilmember Dominguez.
Yes.
Councilmember Hill.
Yes.
Councilmember Moore.
Yes.
Councilmember Seaman. Councilmember Nady.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Can I say something real quick?
Sure.
I cannot work unappointed, it leaves the city open for litigation, and if we do not have a department head, then we cannot work, we will not have a police department.
I'm not ready to
By
do that.
statute.
Well, but Scott's the chief right now until the 23rd of May, correct?
Right.
Now, that may change to the 15th. That'll still make my 2-week notice.
If he leaves it by the 15th, we don't have a department head appointed, then we will not have the police department.
So you'll hand in your resignation, is that what you're?
The city's gonna have to let me.
Okay, that's, yeah.
Oh, you're saying you'll have to be appointed to the interim position?
Yes, because if I'm not, we don't have a department head by statute,
By
and I have a
statute.
police.
Okay, so that's how that.
We don't have another meeting on the 15th.
Shane, I need your input.
I would recommend you appoint him now. I don't know that you have much choice of it.
Right.
Well, we haven't figured it out for.
I was running short.
We don't have time for it.
Even if he's an interim, you don't have to appoint him if you got somebody else more qualified.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
When
But he needs to be appointed now.
To fill the statute.
There will be a blank spot in there between.
Of course, you can do it anytime between now and the 15th, I guess, too. It's got to be on the 15th.
Blank spot, we need him in there.
There won't be another meeting.
Yeah.
Right, that's
Yeah,
what
we
I'm
have
saying.
to appoint.
Guys, we're gonna have to work together. You know, to let get through this crisis.
He knows what's going on, he's been here.
Can I say something else too, just, kind of help out? I do have 20 years' experience.
Yep.
I have multiple accolades, I've been decorated, I've had multiple awards throughout my career. I'm willing to stay to fight for the city.
Yep. I'll vouch for him every time that we talk.
I'm gonna say this. Jason, you know, you and I have talked, several occasions. I have no problem with you personally. What I have a problem with is four-wheelers running up and down my street. Every time I look out my door, it's the same two people, and we can't seem to do anything about it.
If we can catch them, we can, but I can't.
You know what? There's a pink house on 4th and Pecan that those four-wheelers stop at. We cannot,
And how many times have you cited that, Travis? 3 times that I know.
I've cited Jason Dugan at least twice. I think Alexis has cited him once.
We cannot pursue a 4-wheeler because that's constitute deadly force. If he would wreck out and kill himself, then he's gonna own, his family's gonna own the city. We cannot pursue.
We would lose our careers.
To the death.
I'm talking about when they're stopped. When they don't even have a tag on them.
So we
They
have
run
to
from
catch
us.
them. We have to catch them moving.
Is there a police
I've seen
policy
it,
on?
I've seen it
on,
firsthand out at the park. I've seen how he goes. There's no, you wanna stop him? You wanna stop him? You're gonna have to rope him.
Well,
And
we've
that's the way.
got four
You're gonna
police,
kill him, and he's gonna do it. And we've been there.
we've got 4 police trucks that can't stop a four-wheeler.
When he's on that, when he's on that, and he's running from them, I've seen it, and he's gonna either hurt himself, somebody,
The
or.
last time he was charged with the 4-wheeler not being registered, expired driver's license, fleeing a load, and we Alexis cited him for everything that she could statutorily. We served him, he's gotta go through court, but we cannot chase a 4-wheeler, it's just considered deadly force. If he'd wreck out or hit somebody,
Speak.
So I literally, I'm not even joking, anytime I get called to a 4-wheeler call, I don't care what time of day it is. I go out and I do it, I do my job to the best of my ability. I had seen Jason Dugan, I knew it was him, he looked at me, booked it. And when he booked it, I'm not even joking, he almost about got hit on Maple. And it's not worth ending my career over that, it's not worth getting him killed for that. So I disregarded, I said, I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. And then I went to his house. I literally had County go with me. I went to his house, got all the evidence I needed, and now we're just waiting for the court to take it into their own hands. But I literally gave him a citation for every single thing that I could. So
you
we're
said,
trying.
you're saying nothing's being done is not fair. We are doing things, there's just, we are limited by what we can do legally.
He literally looked at me and said, "Get off my property." It wasn't me.
So
But
Bob,
you
you
guys
have
see
the
him,
price
you
of
can
the chief.
sign his correct.
We
And
can-
I found
I
him.
just asked him.
Yeah, that's been signed.
And Timmy, I found him and he told me to do on his property.
So he is.
And to tell you the truth, we know who's for there's water.
You guys can mail them,
I'm just saying, we have to serve them to them.
Yeah, yeah.
I thought they mailed some.
Well, surely there's something.
Because I never-
Certified to receive in hand, but-
He was both at the city, blowing right through the stop.
If we're not registered with the city, can you impound? If we can catch them, yes, but.
They do not necessarily.
Order. I hereby appoint Jason Womack as interim police chief for the city of Chetopa.
I make a motion to approve that.
Got a motion by Justin, second by Brenda. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Wood.
Aye.
Councilmember Dominguez. Councilmember Bentley. Councilmember Moore. Councilmember Seaman. Councilmember Naden.
Congratulations, Jason.
Thank you.
Go get him. Are we ready to move on? Okay. First responder, first quarter pay request. Okay. First quarter runs for 2025. Total of 28 responders at $20 response, $560. Motion by Linda, second by Aaron. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Moore. Councilmember Seaman. Councilmember Naden. Councilmember Wood.
Yes.
Councilmember Dominguez. Councilmember Bentley.
Yes. Okay, we're moving on to the solid waste committee meeting that we had Monday up at the county. Same old story. GFL is wanting a pay raise to haul our trash from Parsons to Arcadia, which is a semi, 5 to 6 semi truckloads a day. That is what, that's our transfer station. We take it from here up to Parsons. The alternative, if you don't have any for everybody else?
I have a few.
They're wanting a pay raise, the county doesn't wanna give them one, they brought in a lady from the state to talk about a landfill. The folks from the Great Plains have decided that they may offer up one of that, the old ammunition train. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna stop, everybody's done having a party in the back.
You good now, Josh?
We're gonna get you up to like 500 and some. Right.
Okay. Not sure what was going on out there, that was disturbing to me.
We have 5 semi-loads going, or they have?
They're trucking what they said, 5 to 6 semi-loads out of there to Arcadia. Now Parsons and everybody takes to.
Everybody goes to Almont, Green, Country,
That's in
Parsons.
We pay by the ton.
Yeah.
But the main point is, they brought in a lady from the state, she was out at Topeka to brief on landfills. There's a lot of downside and cost. The other alternative is an incinerator type, process that evidently down in Tulsa, they're running, pipes underneath the incinerator that heats steam, and then they get some energy out of it, and it kind of pays for itself. But this is all stuff down a 5 or 10 years down the road, but point being, we can't continue down the same road with trash that we are currently on. So, really the can got kicked down the road, but if there's a website there, the county, you can go read all about what was discussed, and I think there's even a video on what she said, but.
Where they want to raise ours?
Excuse me?
How much they want to raise ours?
It never really amounts to a big number up front, but when you start multiplying it by the tonnage, and then, they're under a 5-year contract that they keep wanting to come back and do change orders to, because they're not making enough money.
Yeah.
But we're already under a contract, they're wanting to add on, even though we've signed a contract?
Correct. And, you know, I'll say too, Josh, that seems to me to be, starting to become commonplace with contracts. Change orders seem to be more the norm than the exception. Because of some, you know, a lot of things they don't know about in the beginning when the contract's signed, what they might discover. But anyway, we're on that, Miles and I are the ones that go to those meetings, so we'll keep you informed.
Employee vacation approval.
Okay, Jason Morgan has requested 5 vacation days. I'm not gonna reveal the dates, but we need a motion to approve his vacation.
Make a motion to approve Jason Morgan's 5 vacation days.
Second.
Motion by Ernie, a second by Chuck. Clerk call the roll.
Councilmember Wolf?
Yes.
Councilmember Dominguez?
Yes.
Councilmember Bentley? Councilmember Moore?
Yes.
Councilmember Seaman? Councilmember Navy?
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Welcome.
My mom really appreciates it.
Okay, I'll go with that. Well earned too, I'll say.
Thank you. I will let him know.
We, Chuck, after we met with the McGuire guys, Jason jumped on a bush hog and went and mowed that around the water. I didn't tell Miles until after I re-vectored him, but thanks, Miles. Reclosure control panel update. I got a few pictures here. Scott had briefed that Liberty was gonna come in and change out a couple of electrical poles, which they did, but when they moved our equipment and shut our power down, we didn't power back up in one area. This is what it looked like at night with all the vehicles that they had down by the water plant. Then I think there's one of the poles that they changed out, and then there's a second picture. A lot of our equipment was on there, but the next morning, this is the reclosure control box that powers up the closers, which we don't have spare for either. Excuse me?
How old is that thing?
Yeah.
95?
We brought it to the shop here, we took it apart for what we could. Couldn't see any visible damage, but it's what shuts the reclosers on and off. So, the same company, Solomon, Sunbelt Solomon out of our big, who handles all the closures, handles these, we boxed it up and quite an exciting day to get that thing out of here, but the crew pulled together in the office, and Miles got it UPS up to them over, I think overnight or maybe a day or two, but we're looking for an estimate and whether they can even repair it.
And that was at Salina?
It's up, it's called, the town is Solomon, but it's kind of in between Topeka and Kansas City.
Right.
It's north.
Just east of Salina, about 20 miles.
So just so everybody understands, we're running on 3 instead of 3 of the 4.
So the effect is that as the demand goes up, the hotter it gets, the more people demand, the more taxing it is on the other 3, right?
The way it was explained to me is that the city can run on 3. If we go to 2, somebody's not gonna have power, and
we don't have a backup,
we don't have any spares.
and we're coming into the summertime.
Right. So, we are looking diligently on the internet, we're talking with ICR. Crystal located about 4 different enclosures online that are for sale, because this is really old technology. We don't know yet whether any of those will fit our bill, because there's different voltages and wattages and stuff. Did you get any kind of update with Colt today? Okay. We'll be coming back to the council as soon as we get some answers, and we may even call a special session, because this is very important.
So, this is old technology, right? So what does it take, and I know it's a lot of money to start, do you have to do it all new at one time to get us back, up to par?
These are all rebuilds, actually.
Well, that's what I mean, so what's it take to get us where we're not chasing something all over the internet for something old?
Millions. Liberty doesn't even want to touch us. Nobody wants to touch us. And matter of fact, I'll say that I'm supposed to meet with Colton in the next near future he's looking for a contract with the city.
Right. What does he say about this?
Well, I mean, this is the best that we can do.
Right.
And they're well aware, if we don't have spare parts, we don't have spare parts. If we get spare parts, I think we'll be okay. Scott had taken one recloser out there to Solomon, they totally rebuilt this thing, it looked beautiful when it came back. But it was a 98 model.
$5,000, I think it was.
Yeah, 5 versus what, 35,000?
No, can I say something?
Sure.
The controllers, I had, 2 years ago, I had a company come in and look, I think Tammy, I think, came down there with the Brett too. And there is a controller available that will run the old system, but the guy quoted they were $35,000 a piece.
So we're looking for a repair bill on the one that we sent, and we're gonna look at all options. But the point is, when people start kicking on their AC, the demand is gonna go up and down. And the day that we lose another recloser is the day one part of town is not gonna have power. So I would caution everybody, maybe we wanna address that on our page.
How many reclosers did we have to rebuild? We have just 2?
And one they couldn't rebuild at all.
They could not.
It was too rough.
So I thought we had it.
No, now, the one we took out there, they could not do that. So we have no spare.
Amy, is there a lot of grants out there? I know after,
Colton and I have talked about the substation. He's gonna have to do us a concept paper, because I don't know anything about an electric substation, and I cannot write on something that I don't understand, so he's gonna have to help me with that.
that's something we'll.
We'll have to close out this sewer grant before we be eligible.
Sounds like that's a problem. Maybe.
Yes, I think so.
Now, to continue this conversation, and we're talking electricity here. Colton wants to sit down and have a contract with our city to do our electrical work, and that includes, with Jay Trower coming in and doing the line work and what have you. So, when we set that meeting up, I'm gonna ask Linda to attend. She has already set in with me. We had a meeting this week with Zach Llewellyn to talk about basically the same issue, that he wants to be contracted to do the city plumbing and wastewater repairs. This will relieve the load temporarily on, that we have in our public works manpower problem. We don't have any numbers yet. When I get those, or when we get those, we'll share them with you and come up with a decision if we think that's what we want to do. But sounds like to me that it's probably the best avenue. You guys will recall years ago when we had the folks from KME come in. I think we were getting quoted, what, 600? A lot of money to have a lineman teams come in here. These guys are helping us beyond anybody's realization on what they're doing for us for very little money, because they know we're in trouble, financial. So we'll get back with you on that, but I just wanted to say that we had set in with some meetings with these two gentlemen that already do a lot of work for the city, but some of it they don't even charge us for. Okay, well, I got one here that was, I'm gonna use this in my time. Today, the gray pickup truck that we approved the transmission repair, and if you'll recall, also there was an option on there to put a new radiator in it. Looks like we're gonna need both of those, and I think that was, we approved $2,900. Today, when they pulled the drive shaft out, the pinion on the rear end was very loose. I went down to look at it, Josh and I talked about it. He was gonna pull the cover off the rear end. Did you get that or no?
I had Dr.
It's the Ford F-150. It's a 2008. It's the, I think, Scott's original police truck, but we're using it in public works. It's got a fairly new engine in it that we put in it. We're putting the transmission in. We may end up having to put a rear end in it, or minimum new bearings. But I still, my opinion is, and I think Josh too, it's still worth fixing. But it may be up to $2,000 to put a rebuilt rear end if it goes that far. So I think we need a motion. So it's on his rack now. It can't come down and be pushed to be ready.
I told him the guy that wasn't doing that until
Make that motion.
everyone approved on it.
I'll make that motion.
So can we just get a motion for up to 2,000, let's say? Would that?
Well, I'm gonna put, if metal's not went through it real bad, we ain't got metal on all the, if it's, the gear oil's not gray and shiny, I'm gonna put pinion bearings on it. I'm just gonna, that'll solve the issue for no farther than this truck's going. If it's a slurry and it's gray, it's not gonna last. I mean, we'll be doing it again, so we'll.
But in the interest of another meeting in 2 weeks, we should probably go ahead and
Yeah.
approve the hire.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
And that was about 2,000?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and that's something I'll have a 2 or 3 year warranty on it.
And Josh, you made a statement today that I would like to pass on too, that everything that he does mechanically for this city has a 2-year warranty, is that correct? Okay. I got a motion on the floor by Ernie. Yep. Second by Brenda. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Wolf?
Yes.
Councilmember Dominguez?
Yes.
Councilmember Bentley?
Yes.
Councilmember Seaman? Councilmember Moore? Councilmember Davey?
Motion passes.
Need the CMB license approved. So it's under new ownership. Carmel.
Okay, since Carmondale sold, if you didn't know, the new owner had to apply for a new CMB license, cereal malt beverage. So we just need a motion to approve that.
Motion approved.
Motion by Ernie, second by Justin to approve. Council, clerk, please call the roll.
And they did pass the background check, I had Scott do that, and they paid the fee as well. Okay, Councilmember Wolf?
Yes.
Councilmember Dominguez? Councilmember Bentley? Councilmember Navy?
Yes.
Councilmember Seaman? Councilmember Moore?
Yeah.
Who would you like in on?
Scott?
This is what we're talking about.
Yes.
I guess.
Yeah.
Probably counsel, attorney, Jason and I.
Yep.
And then, well, we probably ought to ask him, Shane, I contacted the sheriff and he said that he'd be more than happy for us to call and put on speakerphone. So as a group, it could be discussed. What, is that doable?
In executive session? I believe so.
Get a non-elected person.
It's not much a personal issue.
So the meeting
I
on
don't
the
think it can be televised.
Not the recording of the
Oh,
law.
no, it shouldn't be.
No, the recording.
What was he gonna do? Zoom in? Well, I didn't
No,
know.
it was a
I'm
speakerphone.
talking about speakerphone.
Oh, okay.
If that's what you guys wanna do, I mean, he said he would.
Yeah, I want to do it.
Okay, so you're saying council, attorney, Jason, Scott, and Eisinger?
By teleconference.
Okay. And for how long does he start?
13 minutes? 15.
Okay, I'm gonna do a second on that.
Okay, got a motion by Justin, second by Linda, to go into executive session. All those in favor?
Well, I appreciate that. That was the
Yeah, that's sorry.